That's why they're all mad, is because you went on PPD.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh, because PPD broke the list.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That's why Ben Shapiro all of a sudden notices Emma.
Ah, they're upset because Patrick David had me on his show, and that's why Rogan wouldn't say my name, but he was so annoyed at the fact that for higher tax, over $3 million a year. Man of the people, the working class guy. How do I know it's working class? Because I'm at night. He talks like this.
On air. I mean, you wouldn't see a guy in a suit.
You wouldn't see a guy who...
Here's Tim Pool on Patrick Bet David show. And the thing I like about this, to be fair, I haven't watched all of it. But Tim is so mad about how bad his song was. And he claimed that you guys and we've actually talked to auctioneers about this.
Well, my sister's friend is like listens. I didn't have him since my sister was like friends with him. He's an audio engineer now, and he sent me out like, "Hey, I could go through this like more extensively, but that's not what you guys did."
No, what we did is it went through the QU16 OB. Yeah, basically there's equalizers. Heavy one, or we have a double roll off to stop like a pitched frequency hits.
Here, I have this email. It was a bit to explain writing, but the basic idea is that even if you were to use a quote audio filter, EQ, aka an equalizer, to sabotage the song, it would have either have to be destroyed, some a lot difficult. It's likely the fidelity defected naturally by stream, but even still, players suggest the song was sabotaged on purpose.
And he seems really upset about this, like he blames us for the failure of his song.
And I said this one.
Thanks for the email.
I said this one, but it was also just like, I'm on the board seat, and like I have no idea how to do that. I'm not even remotely qualified.
Spotify. But
here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line. And we'll get into this video, but I want to make this absolutely clear. I have absolutely no problem with messing with Tim's song, with putting fart noises on it.
It would have been funny.
With highlighting how horrible it is, whatnot. I mean, I don't know if you guys just made fun of it or you put fart noise.
We said it was horrible.
Yeah,
okay.
It was like go back.
But we have too much integrity to do that without telling people that we were messing with it.
Yeah,
it's funnier to actually have us mess with it. And the problem is, I guess, according to Tim, even Tim, this is sort of like looking at yourself in the mirror and going like, "Ooh, I don't look so good."
Yeah.
He's the song, and he thinks that we mess with it because here's it in the context where it's everybody's saying, "Hey, man, great tune." All the people working on it getting paid. He hears it back and he realizes this is garbage, and so he assumes that somebody messed with it. That's what's going on, dude. You just looked in the mirror and you realize, like, ooh, I don't like what I see. But listen to him on Patrick because he's seething about this. But here's the other thing. Well, we'll get it.
Sam Cedar wants to come on, but I think he's one of the most disingenuous human beings in space. So come on. And then he used it against us as a weapon. So he's tough. Got it. Okay. I can tell you this. I love saying this, by the way. There are some other high-profile podcasts that have completely boycotted him, and I complained about this, not understanding why, and I know why. But he's considered widely in this to be kind of stupid to say, but grifter.
I've heard similar things. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I'll say this. That dude.
He does not like.
What was that? How long was that? 2 hours in the room teaching him about every subject that he was raising because the guy didn't know what he was talking about.
That's Adam Sosnick for the
is that what his name is?
PBD show. He's the one, Sam, if you'll recall, he said that he was taking your joke about putting bears in jail and then started to interrogate you about particulars of that joke, and you were like, I don't think you're really taking
right, and everybody laughed at him. But is he? There was another guy who was there who I think was a comedian.
Yeah, no.
But it doesn't matter.
I like to be called the grifter by a guy who did like 45 videos on Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, right. But he's not.
But nevertheless, continue.
I tweeted, "Hey, we often invite leftist guests to come on." So he responded, "I'll come on the show." I tweeted something like, it's a live and to cover your costs, travel and accommodation. One works for you. He says, "How's the 13th?" I said, "That works perfectly." He says, "Okay." I was like, "Well, DM him," and he says, "I'm not coming on your show." And then I was like, "Okay." Then his show and makes a claim against me, or he starts tweeting about me and trying to back out or something like that, turning it into some grift where he could rally his audience. You know what he did? The Majority Report took the song we released, Only Ever Wanted.
All right, pause. Before we get to the song, I'm sorry. I just started to look this up.
He keeps lying.
He keeps lying about this thing, and he knows he's lying.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm gonna put this out. But here, like,
Just put
I'm going to. But I just want to show this right here. Okay. So something changed in there where he got the message about the blacklist that they wanted. But here, let me go. A second. And we went through this whole thing. I didn't say I just don't want to do it. I said
He said the studio thing.
No, he didn't.
He said it was live. First time he said like, we do it live, and I'm like, okay, live in studio, and okay, you're live in studio. Like, we're live every day at 12 noon.
Yeah, we're live in studio right now.
None of our guests come into studio.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
And it was COVID.
And then it was COVID, but it was also like, I can't travel. You know, I was able to do PBD on Thursday because I had the day off, but also I wasn't going to travel on a plane during COVID, in 2020. Here. I just set this up. All right. October 10th. This is the first time right there. People can read. I can't even see. Can people see?
Towards me? Move okay.
You might have to go to Tom's
wait.
Twitter feed for those.
You're just gonna have to take screenshots and put them out.
So I write October 10th. What's the details? I can have Lydia arrange everything for you. Show is 8 p.m. live in studio. We can fly you out. And I'm like, I can do a group chat to connect you. And then my first response is, I can't fly down to DC. I do a daily 3-hour show. You don't do any remotes? And he goes, we set the show back up for in-person only in January. You don't have any way to connect, but I get it. It's one of the challenges of getting guests. You and Hassan host your own content, so it's probably harder for you, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. And then I was like, COVID hasn't affected you bringing people into the studio? And he goes, no one. And then he talks about Rogan, and I said, he said, Rogan never did. And then a month ago, and Trump neither. This is right when Trump got COVID. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I guess you roll the dice and hope you don't. And I said, maybe if I have a day off, and then the next time I respond to him, that's October 10th, right? It was October. because he just went off on me on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't know why you suddenly took offense to the above reply. Care to elaborate? And he goes, you agreed to an in-studio for publicity. You lied. And I said, I weren't in New Jersey anymore. The last one we did was on Skype.
But I don't know how he comes back to you and says you after responding completely rationally before.
Yeah, I'm just going to release, but I just want everybody to see they exist here on my phone. Like, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's it right there.
Right.
We'll put this out because I'm going to put this to bed because he's a liar. Now, none of his fans will see it. But,
yeah. But what's funny here is like how he runs out of steam on that whole lie and has to change it to the like. Okay, now I'm actually have a.
Goes into the music. Let's.
He was very vague about what you read.
Okay. Then he goes on his show and makes a claim against me, or he starts tweeting about me and trying to back out or something like that, turning it into some grift where he could rally his audience. You know what he did? The Majority Report took the song we released, Only Ever Wanted, and ran it through a filter to make it sound bad, and then made fun of us for having bad music. Like, the dude legit is fake. And it wasn't Emily, it was who put a filter on a song to make it sound bad. But like, that's a really good example of what you get when you watch someone like Sam C.
Hey, listen, we've had a lot of people on.
Hey, that's a really good example. There's other great or even better examples I could be giving you right now. The one that I like couldn't finish that I started with, and this one that I'm gonna say is good, even though it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's a really good example.
Roland Martin on here 4 months ago, which was an incredible conversation, back and forth nonstop the entire time. It was uncomfortable from the second to the last second, Lee. But it was one of my favorite conversations of the year. And you know, every time you have somebody on, people will text you and say, oh, can I believe you're having that person? This person's this. Ever had anybody on that I got that many text messages as, and I don't know why. People not good.
I mean,
Sam is both irrelevant and a grifter, and also he got the most amount of engagement.
People were really upset. I think he probably took a lot of grief. If you string space, you don't invite him on. That's what it is.
Yep. That's
and that's what this is having you on.
Exactly.
It's Tim Pool's there as a representative saying, like, you shouldn't have had him on. He's just a bad guy.
You're a little green, but you didn't hear Blacklist. Joe Rogan don't have him on. Jordan Peterson.
One of my vanity projects.
Well, no, I think he's coming up with the real reason. He's going to tell the real reason.
Why? People and
negative,
not good.
Well, so I will say, in terms of media industry stuff, put anybody on the spot, I'll just say, and Sam will probably hear this, there are high-profile producers and media people who have told me explicitly he's blacklisted. Because there was
just let me say this. I could confirm that I know that I'm blacklisted at Fox. I've been blacklisted at Fox for over a decade. And this is what it's all about. He basically doesn't realize what he's telling us. Media industry, et cetera, they perceive themselves. They are in this. Tim is in this. It is a business to them. It is partially to do with politics, but it's also because they know I don't give a shit about their business.
No, it's a bad business decision.
Respect for the business, for them, for none of it. And that's why, like, when I did that interview with Tim, went on his show, and I kept saying, like, I don't care about your whatever your philosophical ideas are, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, my kid was too young at that point. I hadn't watched it. I didn't watch it until I was, close to till he was closer to Tim's age, like 8. But and that's what really upsets Tim, because he's going to get to that part. He's going to get to this part, and he's going to completely change what actually happened, because Tim, and he hates that. And I think he's going to talk about Rubin in a minute. And we set out with an explicit agenda that we announced on the show that when Dave Rubin came out with his book, however many years ago it was, 5 or 6 years ago, was planning to, that our agenda was when lazy ass reporters go to write a piece about him, they were videos, which shows he is not what he was claiming to be at that time. He was claiming to be a liberal and more or less a person of the left, but the left had left him. And we set out with Michael and I to make sure that anybody writing about him was going to know that wasn't true. And the only way we were going to be able to do that was to get into the algorithm, to put out so much content that when someone Googled Dave Rubin, they would get us defining who Dave Rubin was. Now, our prediction is that he was going to end up being a full-on right wing by 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But that's what the agenda was, and they hate that because that's not playing the game that they're playing. For them, it's a game, and I'm not in this to play a game. I'm in this to beat them.
And also the game is really from the fact that they're to any and all ideas. We'll have anybody on, but they'll have people on for a strategic purpose. If there's like a left winger that they have some agreement with, or Tim or Rogan, they'll have them on, and then those guys will play that game because
Circle jerk.
because they want to be invited back. Like
To the platform.
Exactly. So they'll be strategic in the leftists or that they go out to, and it's just as strategic for the blacklist because they know that you will go in there and you will not give two shit. That's what they're afraid of. It undercuts their branding as we are just the truth tellers that will engage with any and all ideas because they're afraid of actual left-wing ideas.
I'm specifically trying to jam their culture. As it were.
I just like the whole posture of like populism, and then to say like actually the level of producers.
Yeah, exactly.
That I like.
Yeah.
Name them, you little.
Why?
Well, I mean, they're Rogan's
honest.
producers.
Exactly, but I want to hear. I want to sit.
Oh no, they're afraid.
Yeah.
Phil.
Because there was this period where I can speak in one sense.
Yeah.
There was a period where he made a ridiculous amount of videos about Dave Rubin. And it got a weird grift going on. He just tried to
Pause it.
drama.
Sorry.
This is when it was Eric Weinstein, I think.
He's the only one who said it's weird because like everyone agrees with us that it's really funny and not weird. Even his own Reddit.
Yeah, right.
Well, but the point is this was when Rogan mentioned it with Eric Weinstein that I was going after him like a wounded antelope or whatever. And he and Sam
That was the first Blacklist.
Harris was talking about it, and it was Eric Weinstein because he called me at one point, and I was like, "I'll take his." He knew I wanted to fuck with him, and I took his call, and he's like, "I just want to, figure out what you're up to." And I said, I told him exactly what I just said on this video.
right.
I'm trying to prevent Dave Rubin from lying to the world as to who he is, and that's what I'm going to do. And I didn't say, and to do with the rest of you motherfuckers. Why he never came back. Yeah, and I don't know what he's doing. Does he still have his podcast?
I think so.
Or did the
I don't know.
IDW implode or whatever it is?
Yeah.
But here, continue.
Or just like this guy's got a weird grift going where he just tries to do drama. And the perspective, I suppose, was, look what happened to me. When I said, hey, come on the show, he turns into drama for his audience. Look what happens when we released a song called Only Ever One. And his people ran it through the weird filter, so it sounded. That's my experience. I can only imagine that many others had a very. These all Majority Report Rubin clips.
And it just keeps going and going. going and going. He's obsessed with this. To use the metaphor that Miley and Yiannopoulos were still talking about him, is he kind of taking a page out of that book, Sam Seder? It's like, we're talking about him.
Oh, good for him. Good for him. I don't know. You know, like
but this,
one of the best.
So I should say the word is an. We better bet 500 videos on Dave
We're
Rubin.
talking about him.
Good for him. Good for him. I don't know. You know,
but this,
one of the best things we've ever done was just the other day with Lance from the Surfs TV. I think his views are wrong. I think he is wrong, but it was funny. We won. He brought a tall boy Bud Light and cracked it open on the show. He gave opinions, which we all like counters, and some views evil.
but by the way, Sam Seder sat down here and he said, I think,
Chris at 108. Keep going. How many videos are there?
That's as far as I can tell.
167.
But you know what else? Let me ask you though.
Hold on.
When you see,
Is that all we did?
I think maybe Kelly fell behind on putting some in the playlist.
This guy on the playlist.
Yeah.
I was aiming for how many
that high?
Well, how many videos do we have total?
Oh, we got a bunch total. You can look that up. But I mean, yeah, I would say
I want to have at least 2% of our videos. I would want to be Dave Rubin. That's 167 does not count.
check that playlist out that we put together for.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for choosing.
How many videos do we have total? We better have hit our quota for Dave Rubin videos.
Someone's getting
I want Tim Pool. I want us to do twice the amount of Tim Pool for.
it's right there, the channel, 21K.
21,000?
21,000 videos.
167 is like that's not even.
I mean,
That's not even half a percentage point.
as a shadowy producer that makes decisions about these programming things, I would.
All right, let's keep. So he seems confused.
but let me ask you this though. When you see something like this, what do you think? Guy's done 167 reaction videos on one person.
He loves you. Get a personal loves you.
I mean, that's not a good look.
If you pull up me, you pull up David Packman, you find Biden and Trump, thousands of views probably.
Justice Smollett.
And it's fine. If you pull up my channel, you might find a couple dozen about the young, because I'll respond to them, say something about me.
Right.
But this is like the Dave Rubin review podcast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
So this is one thing I was told explicitly, that they were like, we don't know what his deal is, but wow, he's got a lot of Dave Rubin videos, and that kind of is like the perspective. Look, he gets a lot of views from me. He has a lot of videos about me too. I don't know how many videos he has about me, but the perspective is he is not a good faith individual trying to have a political argument. He's trying to WWE his audience into.
Would you say he's a troll?
I mean, look at this. Like, come on. Look at that. Scroll up. Look at that picture of me where they use Photoshop on my face.
Why doesn't it look like you? Who is it? That's you?
Tim Pool is a lying coward. Okay, sure, whatever.
That's true.
People should watch that.
That's true. That is true.
me,
People should check that video out.
That's actually relevant to the story Tim tried to tell at the beginning of this. Yeah. Okay. There's more of this.
Sure, whatever.
But I will tell you though, to me, this is
Look
not.
at this by Thanos. So,
What the hell?
Let me tell you the story too. I got another one from yesterday. Look at that. Tim Pool claims not. I had a conversation with Sam Seder. This is one of the biggest challenges for me, trying to talk with people like Sam Seder. I say, Sam, I think we're talking about years ago, a conversation, and I said, it sounds like utilitarian as opposed to like ontological. And his response was something to the effect of, I don't know what that means. And then I'm like, okay, like,
I don't care. I don't care. And then he said, well, I'm going to say something that's going to, and I'm like, what's this going to be? And then he says, to be honest, I had no idea what he was even talking about because, again, my son was not yet years old. Even incredibly upset.
A little embarrassed.
Do we have it? Let's see if we can find it. I think it's very telling about Tim's psychological issues that he is oh my God, his face. Oh,